Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin. Welcome back. Today I want to share one of the most powerful parenting tips that I ever heard, and I use it often. I forget to do it a lot too, but when I feel disconnected from one of my kids or I think one of them is struggling, I go to this exercise. So the idea is you get more of what you notice. You get more of what you reinforce. You get more of what you encourage. Okay? So if you have a child who has a negative attitude and you're always saying, you have such a negative attitude, that child will then internalize that message, feel bad about herself, and then probably have more of a negative attitude. Okay? But instead, if you notice particularly a child who has a negative attitude having a positive attitude, you can say, thank you for having such a great attitude today. It's been such a pleasure working with you, playing with you, cooking with you, cleaning up with you, driving in the car with you. And if you want to 10x that, then go to that child, put their shoulders parallel with yours, touch their little face and say it, whatever you want to say. Thank you for being so kind to your sibling today. I saw what you did. Thank you for picking up your clothes on your floor. I'm really proud of you. That is so helpful to the family, right? You can build up their self-image how you want it to be. Now, we want to accept our children for who they are. So I'm probably not going to expect that my melancholic child is going to turn into a sanguine child. But within her natural personality, I can notice when she's being optimistic or positive or encouraging. And then if I notice it and if I reinforce it, you'll get more of that behavior. So sometimes I just do it verbally. Hey, thank you so much for doing that. I noticed that. That's so great. You're so wonderful. And then recently my husband went out of town and my just turned 5-year-old is normally just a little naughty when he's gone. I'm just going to say it that way. He's just like a little rebellious and naughty. And for the first 2 days my husband was gone, he was dreamy. Hey, mommy, can I help you? I'll do that, mommy. I'll go play with Peter. Like, it was just the best. I was like, who's this child? This is amazing. Why isn't it like this all the time? And so at the end of the day, normally all 3 of my little boys go to sleep at the same time, but I pulled his jammies out of the room. I said, hey, I want you to go wait in the hallway for me. So he kind of snuck out, put his jammies on, and put the little boys down. And I came out and I said, you know what, little man, you are such a good helper today. You were mommy's little helper. I saw what you did with the boys. That was so great. You have such a generous heart. Like, I'm telling him what I want his inner voice to be. And then I did something special for him to show him, right, to reinforce it. Now, my dad is a child psychologist, and he says, we don't want to bribe them. So you don't want to say, hey, if you're good today, I'll let you stay up late. He said, that is not very effective. If you can just wait till it actually happens and then give them something, just as like a high five, so it's not a transaction, then that is so much more powerful. And so I did that for the first 2 nights. Then on the 3rd day, by the way, he was Mr. Naughty Pants. And then he also thought that he was going to get to stay up late. And so when I said no, he threw like the biggest Hurricane 5 level fit. And I stayed calm. I was like, this is your moment, Sterling. I was like, this is the moment where you don't let him get away with that. Right? Because like he was whining and crying, and I could have just been like, fine. And I wanted to. I was tired and I wanted to just be like, fine. I don't care. But I didn't. I knew that was an important moment. Like, for him to understand, if you act this way, good things happen. If you act this other way, we don't get those privileges. And I didn't shame him. And I didn't say, oh, you were terrible. I just said, oh, you know what? It wasn't that kind of a day. We didn't have that kind of a day. So you have to go to bed at the bedtime. And I stayed calm. And he was kicking and screaming. And I just put his jammies on while he was kicking and screaming. And then I left him in his bed. I did say, by the way, if you come out of your room, I'm going to spank you. And we've kind of laid the foundation for that. So our boys don't come out of their room. But I was worried because he had gotten to stay up that maybe he would do that. And he did not. And I don't think he cried for very long. And so what do you want your kids to do? How do you want them to behave? Make a list for each one. Put it in your phone. And then when you notice it, encourage it. We get what we notice. John Maxwell taught me this. Michael Hyatt taught me this. Simon Sinek taught me this. These are all business guys because they teach this about their teams. It's the same thing when you have a team of employees. You get what you notice. So just high five those kids. Be super encouraging of the things that you want to see. And then give it time and watch what happens. It's pretty incredible. All right, ladies. I love you. I'm praying for you. Thanks so much for listening and have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day.